Good morning. Welcome to our presentation. Today we are going to present you about decision making under uncertainty and game theory. Let me explain you about what is decision making under uncertainty. It is when there are many unknown alternatives and possibilities of knowing what could occur in the future to alter the outcomes of decision. So when it comes to expected utility theory, it also came from decision making under uncertainty. What is the expected utility theory? It is that serve as reference guide for decision when the payoff is uncertain. In here, decision maker always rational to choose outcome. Let's move to our challenge question. In this case, we can see there are four options. A, B, C, and D likewise. So in every option, what decision makers prefer, he can get 1,000 rupees payoff. Okay, look at this. Decision maker says she prefers to A to B. If decision maker choose A option under drawn of red ball, she can get 1,000 rupees payoff. And also if black ball is drawn under B option, it also have 1,000 rupees payoff. So both have equal payoffs. When DM says she prefers C to D, that also same. C option payoff also 1,000 rupees, D option also 1,000 rupees payoff. According to these both options, payoff are equal. That's mean 1,000 rupees. Although decision making under uncertainty, decision maker should be rational, but in here, the decision maker not choose option rationally. Because why? She knows in every option she prefer payoff a 1,000 rupees. So this is a one point why decision making under uncertainty, preferences of decision maker are not consistent. So next I would like to invite to Shashika to tell how this is not consist with expected utility theory. Over to you, Shashika.
Thank you, Yureshi. Here there is a covered ball with 3 red balls and 6 other balls, which could be black or yellow. In this table, you can see the probability of red ball is 3 upon 9. But we don't know how many black or yellow balls there are. Anyway, the total of black and yellow balls is 6 now. Hence we can't come to conclusion about probability of black and yellow balls because we don't know how many black balls and how many yellow balls there are. When we then we have to calculate accepted utility in each points. How to calculate the expected utility? You all know that. Expected utility is calculated by multiplying the probability by the relevant outcome. Then you can see this table. In point A, red ball's payoff is 1,000. Now we can calculate accepted utility. The calculation is 1,000 into 3 upon 9. The answer is 333.3 rupees. We can calculate accepted utility of point A because we know it probability now. But since we don't know the probability of yellow and black balls, so we can't calculate it accepted utility in point B and point B, C, and D. Here are the reasons why the expected utility approach is not suitable for this situation. Now I invite Sadeepa to explain second question. Over to you, Sadeepa.
Thank you, Shashika. Before we get into the problem, let's see what is meant by game theory. Game theory is about looking at the case where the opponent is not nature, but some other agents who are also optimizing their action choice. And so the agent has to form expectations as to how other will act. We can see three key ingredients of the situation. What can each player do? It called strategies. Second one is what does an agent know or observe? It called information. Final one is what is each player's objective? It called payoff at end nodes. Then I quickly move to the challenge. This issue tells us to prove that there is a pattern in the reaction of two players. Now we turn to it. You can see two players pay off. Now I go to the first player PO strategies. If player 1 play middle, player 2 should play left. If player 1 play down, player 2 should play middle. If player 1 play up, player 2 should play right. You can see player 1 have only 3 PO strategies. Then I move to player 2. If player 2 play left, player 1 should play down. If player 2 play middle, player 1 should play up. If player 2 play right, player 1 should play middle. You can see player 2 have only 3 PO strategies. The reason for this is that both the players make decisions by the choosing the opportunities that are most advantageous to them. Seen in this way, first player play middle, second player should play left. Second period, second player play left, first player should play down. Third period, first player play down, second player should play middle. Fourth period, second player play middle, first player should play up. Fifth period, first player play up, second player should play right. Sixth period, second player play right, first player should play middle. This process continuous again and again. So it is clear that these decisions have a pattern. Now I invite to Fatima to explain our third question. Over to you, Fatima.
Thank you, Sadipa. I talk about question number 3. There are 3 players, 1, 2, and 3. And there are 3 alternatives, A, B, and C. Players vote simultaneously for the alternative. Here, first question is so the poor strategy profile A, A, and A are both Nash equilibrium. Because dividing unitary doesn't change the outcome of the game. So all the players are indifferent between all the poor strategies. A, B, A is a Nash equilibrium because players 1 and 2 vote for A. Then the vote of the player 2, it is irrelevant and indifferent about how to vote. Given that player 1 and 2 vote A and B, the outcome will be A if 3 votes A, B, and if 3 vote B and A. If 3 votes C, note that 3 prefer A to B. A thus maximize 3 payoff. Given that player 2 and 3 play B A, and outcome will be A if one vote A, B, and if one vote B and A if one vote C. Note that one prefer A to B. A thus maximize 3 payoff. Hence the profile A, B, A is a Nash equilibrium. Now I would invite Dharania explain next part. Over to you, Dharania.
Thank you, Nasreen. Let's see the next part of this question. Is AAB a Nash equilibrium? I can say AAB is not a Nash equilibrium because player 2 would have strictly pay off improving deviation to B. By voting B, the outcome becomes B instead of A, which is strictly preferred by player 2. So, AAB is not a Nash equilibrium. Now, I would like to invite Shashika to conclude our presentation. Over to Shashika.
Thank you, Dharanya. We hope you have a good idea of this challenge now. We also hope you have an idea of what is the decision making and uncertainty and what is the accepted utility. The other thing is that we have to say we can get a decision in any way without being rational in the same payoffs. Also, if a probability can't be said actually, an accepted utility will not occur. Then we hope you have an understanding of game theory as well. Finally, we identified a Nash equilibrium under 3 options in a game with 3 players. You must have understand that too. So this is our end of presentation. Thank you so much for your participation. Have a nice day.